So guys, we just learned that Big House is getting canceled, a big Melee event. And here's the statement. Hi everyone, I've received a lot of questions on Big House this year and I want to provide a status update. I have a lot of thoughts to share and my only request is that you read this completely to the end and do not pass along any TLDR summary version. A lot of it is personal, multi-layered, and I really struggled to find the right balance of sharing my honest internal dialogue while also keeping it concise enough for the general public. For context, I'm Robin Harmon and I've been the head organizer of Big House since its inception in 2011. The event has taken place in October for each installment, minus the 2 COVID years. Ever since I started Big House, my reasons have largely remained the same. I want to challenge myself as project manager who has visibility on every part of the org chart: logistics, marketing, finances, people management, etc. I have an entrepreneurial itch to host a large-scale event and find a way to put all necessary pieces together. I want to fulfill a creative vision for how an event can look, feel, and be experienced, and have the resources to achieve that vision. I feel a duty to raise and sustain the quality of events to empower future generations of attendees to enjoy a great experience at them. The reasons have always been in harmony with the following assumptions in my ability to host events. I have enough time over the summer and fall to dedicate toward planning a Big House in October. I feel I can give 100% of my energy and efforts toward making the current year's event the best possible product it can be. I have the financial stability in my personal life to be able to cover any potential losses if they come up at the end of the event. I feel the desire and hunger for the community, sponsors, and partners to support the event with the resources it needs. Over the past year, some of the assumptions have shifted. I'll go through them one by one. Time, energy, effort. I've recently been hired as a varsity volleyball head coach at a high school near and dear to me in Michigan. I love doing it, and it satisfies a lot of the challenges I like. If you replace the word event with volleyball program in my original list of reasons I host Big House, you'll find that my motivation and fulfillment are similar for each. The role not only involves coaching a varsity team, but also managing the entire high school program in all aspects, such as hiring the JV freshmen, assistant coaches, budgeting, fundraising, coordinating gear, running youthful camps, tealing, and networking. Previously, I'd only coached volleyball, which runs from December through June, and conveniently allowed me to focus on Big House in the summer and fall. But now I've stepped into managing an entire high school program, and the volleyball school season runs from August through October. Given that overlap with what is traditionally peak of Big House planning season, I won't be able to give another project 100% of my energy during those months. If you know anything about me, you know that I approach every project I take with the intent of making it the best possible, which requires all of my energy and effort. This year, that means putting it toward my new role leading a volleyball program. Financial stability. As much as I love my new role leading a high school program, it's not a full-time job at the end of the day, and I currently don't have the financial stability of a full-time job as a buffer. My last full-time job ended in extremely disappointing fashion, and I honestly lost faith in certain industries and positions of leadership in that process. So I've been living off personal savings and random gigs for the past few months in an effort to find inspiration with a possible career pivot. But I want that to be organic and not force myself into a new opportunity if it isn't the right fit for me. I don't know how much time this will take, but I feel very strongly that I have to let it naturally play out. With this buffer in my personal life, I don't feel that it's responsible to take on hosting a large-scale event that is almost always cut it close in terms of breaking even financially. Community partner support. With each recent installment of Big House, it's become increasingly difficult to find sponsors and partners willing to financially back the event, and our general attendance has hit a plateau of around 3,000 people. The combination of these factors makes it increasingly difficult to host a large-scale event at the creative level I want. When organizations like Panda, Summit, and Golden Guardians go away, is unfortunate ripple effects in events like Big House. These past 2 years, my staff and I dug deep, put in extra hours during planning season to still find a way to make it work, and against all odds, we produced what we believe are the 2 best Big House events ever, creatively and logistically. But when the effort and stress level of making it work keep increasing while the big picture financial feasibility keeps decreasing, eventually it reaches a breaking point where we can't keep pace with these 2 trends drifting in different directions. All this is to say, as of right now, Big House is on an indefinite hiatus. The door is open for the event to come back in future years, but it would require a shifting of several reasons and or assumptions I listed above. This could mean it happens at a different time of year, or it's led by a different organizer, or it's more financially feasible given some combination of increased partner support or shifting community expectations. I think if 2 of the 3 factors were to change, then Big House would be in a good position to return. But I just want to make it clear that there are a lot of administrative and organizational questions that have to be answered before we even entertain that possibility. And personally, I'm not actively working on answering those questions at the moment. You might be asking why someone can't just step in and take over Big House in my absence. I think it's a fair question and a possibility down the line, but I want everyone to understand it's not simple on short notice. Venues for large-scale events require months or even years of lead time to secure them, often with tens of thousands of dollars in deposits or multiple years of locked-in contracts for both the venue space and surrounding hotel room blocks. Someone has to take on the carried expense and risk, for example. If the head TO makes an executive decision to upgrade a part of the venue for an extra cost, then that head TO is financially responsible for any consequences of that decision. For the past 11 Big Houses I've been fine taking on that risk because I've had the bandwidth to feel like I can control my own destiny and making the event great enough to overcome that risk. But for the reasons and shifting assumptions I laid out above, I won't be able to do it this year, and it's unclear who, if anyone, would be willing to step into that role at the moment. TOing events is still a passion project. I've never paid myself a salary for hosting events. Instead, always reinvesting towards making future events as great as possible for attendees. The truth is, there are way more expenses now than even 2 years ago, let alone 13 years ago when Big House first started. The community demands more, sometimes reasonably so, but certain constraints make it difficult for me to guide Big House in a direction that satisfies both my creative wishes and the community's expectations. Streams and internet needs are the prime example. These expenses scale poorly at our venue because multiple stream broadcasts each bring their own costly additions of union labor shifts and in-house staging requirements. Internet is so obscenely expensive at Kobo Center that it infamously caused a major company, Wizards of the Coast, to cancel their stream broadcast altogether for Magic the Gathering Grand Prix Detroit a few years ago. Growing viewer expectations, such as a quad stream broadcast, create massive tension on our ability to affordably spread out resources to the rest of the event. Our aforementioned venue, Kobo Center, is quite frankly a huge pain to work with. We compete with the Detroit Auto Show and several other major companies for space, and often those clients have deep pockets to be able to put down deposits for multiple years and way ahead of time. Up to this point, I've been careful to not lock in Big House for long periods of time without contracts, because I want to respect how quickly the gaming landscape evolves and might steer us in a different direction that require a different venue. But sticking with one-year commitments has meant higher rental costs and more difficult scheduling, which exacerbates the issues above. You might be asking why Big House can't just downscale and find a small venue. For me, it boils down to the creative vision of what I want to do with a large-scale event, and it means we host it for the entire community at large in one very spacious venue within walking distance of hotels and 30 minutes of major airports. Unfortunately, no other venues in Southeast Michigan area meet this criteria. Similar to a movie director who requires a minimum threshold of studio budget and community buzz to take on a film within his or her creative vision. I'm personally only interested in taking on the creative challenge of hosting events above a certain level of grandeur, and I can't see myself making sacrifices to what we've come to expect creatively and aesthetically at Big House by downscaling the overall scope of it. I still love the gaming community, and I'm incredibly grateful for all the support of thousands of attendees and our amazing staff and volunteers over the years, and I wish I could host Big House this year. I just hope everyone can understand life happens, assumptions shift, landscapes evolve. I do this at the pleasure of the community, and if the desire and hunger is truly there for future installments of Big House, please make it known politely and constructively. In the meantime, thank your longtime TOs and practice gratitude for everyone behind the scenes who dedicates time and effort to making experiences great in any event you attend. Best, Robin Harn. So basically, Big House is canceled, and that leaves just what? This is Genesis. If you're not like if you're not already at the biggest, it's kind of hard. Summit left, Evo left, Shine left, Big House left. Not good. Panda Cup ended, Smash World Tour ended. Unfortunate. Now it's just like Genesis and Supernova. So yeah, major issues. It's major issues in Smash. It's unfortunate. Hope this changes. But yeah, a lot of it comes down to like finances, money, opportunity, and stuff. And in this case, it was more complicated because in this case it was a lot of reasons, although one of the reasons was sponsors. But yeah, paying out of pocket when the venue and expenses, like venue prices and the 1 year at a time, very expensive, and then all the streaming and paying staff, and then the internet being so extremely expensive. So yeah, that's just how it is. Sponsors could carry it, but we would need sponsors in Smash to make it profitable. But that's how it is. If this gets on YouTube later, make sure to subscribe and follow YouTube and Twitch and check all this stuff out if you're trying to help my sponsor stuff out. I'm going to update this like several times a month. Read all this stuff if you want to help me out. This is the main way that helps me. So I promote it because this is the main way that helps. YouTube doesn't really pay much. But yeah. All right. That's it.